unstable anyway. Lady friend, she won't want me to say this, but go to hospital. She has had cancer. And it's affecting me. And it's affecting my partner. Because there are individuals who have been telling Dan that they have been concerned about me from Police Abusing Powers, the YouTube channel. And Dan has let me know via email the people who are concerned about me. I'm so ill, I haven't been out for days. I have my personal health. It's affected me, my partner, and the people that I care about. As I said, my lady witness, my witness, someone who really does care, someone who saw me in distress on the pavement. Juliet had to go to hospital yesterday. I don't want to affect her. Now, I'm going to say this. I set up this YouTube channel for my own personal documentation. There's a disclaimer. I'm allowed to record without people knowing by law. The very first YouTube video I made that didn't have sound on it was made around the time that Caroline Ansell MP sent me emails saying that she was helping me with the local authorities. Days later, on Wednesday, the 21st of October, 2020, I was on the phone to the local government ombudsman and a social worker whom I never met, named Marina. That was at the Citrus Hotel in Eastbourne. On that very day, I had a threat from the hotel guest threatening to go in my room. The manageress, Rika, said, "We don't want you here anymore." I said, "I'm calling the police because one of your guests has just threatened me." This is a woman who'd been very kind to me and everything, and I'd literally just been on the phone to the local government ombudsman and a social worker for hours. I was tired. I was hungry. I was feeling exactly how I'm feeling right now. Exasperated. Then, because this manageress, for whatever reason, after receiving emails from me to her and Caroline Ansell, she just decided she didn't want me there. Bit like the people like Tina CHAVE and the people in Police Abusing Powers, all hearts and lovely and everything, to threats and changing for whatever reason. There's a lot of this narcissism flying around everywhere. I've had to deal with a lot of dangerous individuals, shills, grifters, people pretending not who they say they are. On that day, on Wednesday, the 21st of October 2020, after exhausting myself to the local government ombudsman and a social worker, I was beaten by 3 police officers on Beachy Head during a welfare check. The solicitor that I reported to the legal ombudsman said that I acted in self-defense because I'd had enough of all the police beatings and they were causing me pain. But she wanted to suggest that I plead guilty to their beating in order to get a probation officer to help me with housing. I am aware that Tina CHAVE has had 40 years of experience and she's helped ex-offenders. The abuse that I've had on my channel and in the live chat, as reported, has been nothing different to what I received at Belmore Road. This is the property I've been staying away from for my safety. I've been self-funding a hotel for 6 months. I recorded neighbours, I've recorded all sorts of things. Now, there's an awful lot that's inherently wrong, but all individuals are responsible solely for themselves. Councillor Robin Maxted has let me know, or let my partner know, about my YouTube where I recorded our conversation. I keep my conversations with the local government ombudsman private, others I keep public, because it's in public interest to know how members of the council are failing me. Those on YouTube who have threatened me, such as Princess Angela, which is why I didn't want to take her phone number in the first place. I like to give people a chance. This is a police abusing powers supporter. She is friends with Scott Andrew Home, who admitted it was him who phoned the MP office on my behalf. I live streamed Lucy, an MP call handler, on YouTube, saying to me that she had an abusive call handler, and Scott had admitted it was him, and she had reported him to the police. He had contacted the House of Commons on my behalf. I am putting myself at risk in many ways from exposing the corruption, but in the meantime, this is only for public interest and for my personal documentation. Why I have a YouTube disclaimer. So anyone who shares without my consent, as they have been, and I say this with caution because we can all share YouTube videos, but that disclaimer is to protect me and anyone who's helping me. Anyone who does anything to share to a third party that will cause me or anyone else damages is impeaching themselves. You have caused me more distress with the only member of council who was willing to listen and help me. Robin Maxted is from the Liberal Democrats. Josh Babarindi is also from the Liberal Democrats. And he wants to take over from Caroline Ansell. He hasn't responded to my online application form over a month ago. All my YouTube comments where he's been commenting, he's been interviewed in YouTube videos. And he hasn't responded to my Facebook messages. I know about how I've been shut down on Facebook with the Eastbourners Facebook group, because the Eastbourners Facebook group, I know who the admin, I know that the owner of the Crown Antiques shop is admin to that place. I know a lot about a lot, and I know how this town operates. I also have learned how some individuals on YouTube operate because of their connections with certain people, such as Caroline Stevens. Dan told me if ever I was feeling suicidal to phone him. He said that in one of his live phone-ins on police abusing powers. I did not take advantage of that, although I've spoken to him for hours. I've got many horror stories. I am extremely transparent. He told me that any conversation I have with him is between him and no one else. Same with Tina. But even his admin, his moderators have come onto my channel and attacked me. But they were all hearts and kisses on his channel. Every time that I entered. Now, something has changed ever since I had a phone conversation with Tina. I tried to help a woman who claimed to be a wheelchair user, and I called her out for her lies on YouTube. I did the same with someone called Angela Power Disney and Andy Devine. Well, let's just say they turned unpleasant towards me. I know these people through John Alexander Patterson, who was also detained at the same time as me in the Eastbourne Psychiatric unit. I had contacted 2 BBC Panorama producers, 2 of whom I still have their contacts, Yasmin Yehudi and another individual who was making a documentary about psychiatric abuse. Whilst I was detained, that's when I met John Patterson in 2019. I'd been dragged into St Mary's House in handcuffs, and 4 months later, I was arrested out of the psychiatric unit in hospital pyjamas, in distress. I recorded the ward review, and I still have that recording. And yes, it's out there. And it's in the public interest. Because this is what I was going to go to this Panorama producer about. But he was listening to so many people's horror stories, he couldn't listen to mine. I was arrested out of the psychiatric unit on the 23rd of August 2019, 2 days before I had been beaten by a security guard. I've only just let Dan know about that story. Because there's been so much that's happened, I can hardly function. I'm tired, I'm drained, I'm not eating or sleeping. I've worn these clothes, these filthy, dirty clothes, for days. Right now, as I speak, I am drained and exhausted, but I am trying to maintain professionalism on YouTube, because the last thing that me and my partner want is for members of the public to see our distress. But it's having an effect on us. It's affecting the one person that cared about me right now, apart from my partner, and that's my lady witness. And that's why I don't want them coming on YouTube, because I don't want them to be affected by these individuals. So I would also like to say that it was Dan from Police Abusing Powers who got me my moderators and my extra subs, my extra subscribers from Police Abusing Powers. And he said there are a lot of people that care about you. They're always saying they're concerned about you. Well, how is it that after one phone conversation with Tina CHAVE, just one, when she said she was going to help me with all her 40 years of experience so that I'd be able to help others, she told me to phone her back. She immediately retracted that. And the email she sent me, I have not even gotten as far as responding in a message to Tina about this, because I'm so appalled. She knows all the agencies that have failed me. She knows she made it so simple. I'm so appalled. She knows all the agencies that have failed me. She knows she made it so simple. I've heard everything that she said. Completely different person speaking. I've heard it all before. A child could have done that for me. A child could have just said, try all these people that I already know that you've exhausted, and go and help yourself and leave it in the past. We're going round in circles. Even Dan used the magic wand phrase that I've heard before. But Dan is the one who got me my moderators. I'm aware that Brian PC, and I've got to be careful what I say, but you did make this comment, Brian, and then you deleted it. And I'm not trying to get you into trouble, but you made a comment under one of my videos after I was attacked in that Police Abusing Powers live chat last Wednesday. You made a comment under one of my videos saying that you've been sharing. It's fine. If you want to do that, I say it's fine. It's not fine because of my disclaimer, but Other people have done that. I never gave anyone permission. I never gave anyone permission to do that because there was a disclaimer. I never said, yes, you can. I've been too tired to respond to a lot of comments. I've made this for my personal documentation. I never said that anyone could share anything. If they do, I can understand why, because I could make the mistake. And people do share things. It's not actually that's bothering me. What's bothering me is what people are doing behind the scenes of this. Because this is purely for my own personal documentation. And behind the scenes, I'm feeling so ill. I can hardly eat, sleep, and function as it is. And this Princess Angela, who asked me for my phone number, under the video where I have called this Angela out on attacking me, along with these people who have made the most disgusting comments and being abusive towards me and my partner, knowing the stress that I have been through with him and the local authorities. This woman is so deluded. She's saying she's doing the same as Dan's police abusing powers moderators. You haven't accepted help from anyone. I had a demented custody manager do the same after I was beaten, while he was beating me and abusing me along with his colleagues. So this is narcissism that but it's so demented, it's so off the scale, that the individuals who claim to be against the police corruption, you've already been reported to the police by the MP office that you claim you are phoning on my behalf. You have contributed to this. So the thing is, Dan, if you're watching this, because this is a message for you and you don't want to speak to me, we've spoken for hours and you've been kind to listen to me, and you need to understand I'm withholding a lot of anger and distress. I can see the sickness in my face. I haven't looked after my personal hygiene for days. You kindly got me these. Stevens did not tell me that she had contacted Steve Churchill from the food bank. She did not ask for my permission. This is a woman who had prayed for me, talked me out of suicide, and then threatened me for doing something she can't threaten me with. And many other people have said, oh, she's a Fruit Loop. Oh, she can't do that. Oh, you're allowed to record. She's not. She makes out she's a truth to these meetings. So I'm not part of anything. I'm just so appalled that all these individuals could do this. Steve Churchill is my partner, Darren's friend at the food bank. He said he listened to the nutcases at the Psychiatric unit, the same ones who abused me and John Alexander Patterson, who was kidnapped outside the Royal Courts of Justice, who went to the Ministry of Defence. It's such a small world, you know. That's how I found out who Andy Devine and Angela Power Disney were. And then I found out that my moderator, that Dan from Police Abusing Powers, got me this moderator, Brian, and Brian knows Angela Power Disney and all these others, and it's a small community. And all of a sudden, for whatever reason, after one private conversation with Tina, which I hadn't published, and I've never published a phone call between myself and Dan. The only people that I've been publishing are to document my corruption. Dan and Tina CHAVE from UK Independent Advice were the people that I went to for help with this corruption. And individuals, for whatever reason, have got involved. And as I to the police, and Scott admitted it was him and that he would sue them and all of this. I don't know, because I didn't hear that phone conversation. All I'm angry about is I have trusted those individuals and they have violated my trust. I say I've trusted them. I don't trust anyone, but I like to give them a chance. My YouTube videos, I will repeat, my YouTube videos are for my personal documentation. I have a disclaimer, and the local government ombudsman are aware of my YouTube channel because I let them know about it. Dan from the MP office was all right with me publishing our phone conversation. Councillor Robin Maxted has been notified at some point between the last time I made, whenever it was that I published that phone call with Robin Maxted, and today, somewhere between there and then, someone has let him know about the YouTube video and he wants it taken down. Either way, if I make it private or whether I take it down, it's already out there. I am waiting for him to do what they have not been doing all this time. Because I was released from Eastbourne Psychiatric. I said to her that Robin Maxted said, you can't release me with nowhere to go. And in the ward review, I've got her recorded saying, yes, we can. And I was arrested out of the psychiatric unit in hospital pajamas in distress. And that was after 4 months earlier, I had been dragged in there by the police in handcuffs. So you can either laugh or cry about it, but at the end of the day, the individuals who have perpetuated this are personally responsible. Those who have impeached themselves, those recordings without my consent and using them at a detriment to me and those who are involved with trying to help me have impeached themselves. I have a disclaimer. Princess Angela claimed under the video where I've called out and shown evidence of people abusing me. Tina CHAVE didn't say anything and she was in the live chat. So she's had 40 years of experience with dealing with vulnerable people. Me and my lady witness, who is trying to recover from cancer, and she was in pain. And because of what happened to her yesterday, she went to hospital. I let her know about this and she said, why has Dan not reported this? Why has Dan not reported the abuse that I have exposed on my channel? So it is in public interest, because if anything happens to me, I want people to know about it. I don't know where my late mother's friend is. Our world famous suicide spot is strategically placed in a town that has one of the most corrupt councils. I simply asked. It all starts with politely asking for help. After 26 years of asking for help. Tina, if you can see this, not that it really matters anymore, but I shared this to you. I shared you this article. I showed you, and I'm not going to get it out because I don't have the strength and the capacity. I showed you, I copied you my mother's death certificate that I signed, forced to sign a homeless application form out of supported, been placed in temporary accommodation as a person with complex needs. Why have you retracted your help? Do you want me to play this again for you to remind you? The hotel wants me to change hotel. Right, what's happened here? It wouldn't surprise me if this is deliberate. Suddenly conking out, is it? During a live chat, in distress.
This is a contract.
Wow.
It's going to be finishing this week. It's nothing to do with you.
Well, something's happened here. It's suddenly.
Are you still recording?
It's something's happened. The screen just went blank.
Right, well, look, leave it for me.
This is while I'm live
I need
streaming.
to talk to you about what they've said to me. I need to talk.
Well, something has happened
I
here.
need to talk to you. So when you're ready.
I don't know what's going on now. Now it's all just
When you're ready.
basically fucked up.
When you're ready.
This is during a live stream. The screen's gone blank.
I need to talk to you.
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening.
When you're ready, take a break and I'll talk to you about what they said.
I don't know what's happening. I'm never going to get through this. I don't know what's happening now. What's happened? What's happened? The screen is blank. The screen is blank. Look, do you see? It just went blank.
Press escape, we'll have to reboot it. Okay. That's the Windows button. If that doesn't work.
No. What should I do? Reset it?
I think it's crashed. That's what it sounds like.